I'll give this back to you when I'm finished.
Oh, attendance.
Yeah, I don't need that page, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, today is, July the 12th?
13.
13th, okay.
Thank
On the
God.
13th,
Grandson's
3 o'clock.
birthday.
Call to order the Stoneybrook Advisory Committee meeting. And we have full attendance today. Everyone is here.
Janice made it.
Yeah.
That's because her surgery was canceled.
Is that why? Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Bad.
Bad.
And I just want to say thanks for everybody showing up, because there was a point in time there, we might have been sweating a little bit. There would be,
Okay.
I want to take a minute just to double check and glance over the minutes that we have here. Do we have any comments on the minutes?
Move to
Supposed to
accept.
be today.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got, Virginia made a motion to accept, KT to second that. And does anybody have any comments on the minutes? All in favor to approve the minutes as presented?
Aye.
Unanimous, it passes. Go forward. Not a lot of things on the agenda for today, but we do have a couple of things I do want to bring up. And starting off, that is the follow-up regarding the PMI contract. Now, we had a response, and I didn't get it. I don't know why I didn't get it, but you did. And can you just read what the response was from PMI? And I think this is an email from April.
This is from April, right? It's about, from Paul Lingardi, confirm the pavement is north to the right of way. Oh, that was,
Mhm.
okay. Pavement markings on the entry of Stoneybrook will wear off with time. It is a result of traffic movement on the new pavement. There is no negligence by the contractor. Do you want me to tell you what he also said?
Yeah, continue to read it.
Okay,
Because they haven't
not
seen it.
this, but he had said that if he moved and they did the paving up a little farther, okay, then you would have tire tracks on the other part. And that it was almost impossible to close down the entrance to Stoneybrook. That's what he said to me.
I will agree with that, but part of the problem is, and I'm gonna tell you that, just looking into this a little bit, that not all the markings were from PMI. Some of them were even left by the previous painter that was contracted by WCI when they were paving the lower portion of Gateway. When they got up to the northern end of what they were doing, the WCI property, they were coming all the way up to use us for a turnaround even then. And, they went right by Hampton Park and they would come up to us. I just want to state for the record that no community, I just recently drove up and down Gateway Boulevard to check this, no other community had the markings or the residue or the problems that we did out front. And I'm sure that if, let's say, the city of Fort Myers had left such markings on Pelican Preserve,
Oh, jeez.
they would have heard about it.
I would have been out
So,
with a toothbrush to go
I did have a
tomorrow.
discussion with other board members, and we're not gonna make a big issue out of this. We'll let it slide for now. It does seem to be deteriorating. I do wanna also state for the record that there is a substantial portion of our entryway that is part of the Gateway Boulevard right-of-way. It's not just Stoneybrook entrance property, that Gateway does own that road, but it's part of the Gateway right-of-way that, in fact, the county will be taking over. I'll be curious to see, have they even, Diane, do you know if they have reviewed the job yet, or where we stand with that?
They did an inspection
Okay.
not too long ago, because I had to rent a premium SUV to carry everybody.
Jeez.
Well, you can't get them all in,
Yeah, I know.
Can't get them in one of those trucks?
Escalade or something, huh?
No, there was like 10 people.
Yeah. All right, well, they could have been in one of those service vans too,
So,
those big vans you can rent.
I couldn't get one, I couldn't locate one.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of a,
Well,
So anyways, they did do
bus.
an inspection, and as far as I know, it went fairly well.
Everything went well. The reason is, I believe they don't realize how far on the, I guess you would say, the east side of Gateway as you're heading north, the right-of-way actually comes our direction. If
Okay.
that road ever gets widened, it's gonna get a lot closer to our gatehouse. Because there's no room on the other
I mean,
side.
they'd take down our wall, then our.
Well, that
Stoneybrook
fence up
monument.
there is an issue. No, that'll be okay,
It will
because
be.
it's already 4 lanes out there. That's the problem. We're 2 lanes by us, and that would be widened out if it ever did come to pass.
You know what I did hear? Now, this is just,
Hearsay.
yeah, I don't know if it's true. I heard that there is a wall going up on 82.
Can you speak up louder?
There's a wall going up on 82.
Well, there is,
We-
in front of the village.
In front of the villages. We know that. I
Okay.
actually had the people from the state come down, and we had them put a little presentation for the villages and us. Unfortunately, our turnout for Stoneybrook wasn't that great. But they gave a whole reason why they did the villages and not us, and they put a whole presentation on it. It was very concise. And I know that the gentleman from Hampton Park is pushing for a
Yeah,
retest, and I
yes.
understand that is scheduled to happen. I think that his chances of getting approved, although their situation is much more extreme than ours, because WCI is putting houses literally right up to 82.
Griffin and 82.
I mean, really,
Very close.
unbelievable. And even the fellow who's the new manager of land management, we had some issues on our borderline, and he said that they're gonna have a problem selling those houses.
What are you
It's an
talking,
issue.
where are you talking about the 4-lane?
4-lane, where
Right.
Gateway Boulevard meets,
82 there. No.
oh, I see,
No.
you're talking about the Stoneybrook monument.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that
Oh.
monument will be in jeopardy, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be close.
Because there's only 2 lanes here.
Yes.
So you're talking about when they.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the monument up by.
So when they,
82.
so when talk of doing this,
It's
maybe
gonna
4
be,
lanes.
it's gonna be a problem. Yeah.
Well, then what the hell are they
And
gonna
if
do
you
with all
look,
those palm
and move
trees?
over to here, around where it goes around the bend,
Move
yeah, well,
them
we know
again.
that though.
But then why would you move it here knowing that they're
There
gonna
was
go?
nowhere else to put the palm trees, okay?
That's a
Nowhere else to put it.
temporary thing.
Huh?
They said that was a temporary thing when
Yeah,
they
they
did it.
Yeah, that was a discussion.
A temporary $90,000 move?
Yes.
Well, no, actually, it wasn't 90, and the cost of cutting them down and moving them and removing them was gonna be 30,000. It was like a $58,000 difference.
It was a compromise.
So it was a
too.
$58,000 feel good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Feels pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you'll be 10 years before you have. So, from that perspective.
When the county takes over, will they be responsible for all pavement that's on the right of way?
Theoretically, yes. Yeah, it's not our responsibility, that's county road. We'll be county road then. And I'm
It's still
telling you,
Gateway's right of way though, isn't it?
where are we talking about?
Gateway Boulevard or
Gateway-
Cove
No,
Road?
Gateway Boulevard, it'll be county road, that's the whole point, turned over to them.
But that, so they're gonna do they're gonna do the maintenance on the right of way? They're gonna cut the grass and trim the trees? on the
No, I think
right of way?
maintenance-
We're taking over landscaping. Part of that agreement was we would take over landscaping, which, because number one, we didn't want to turn it over to them, because we know how it would look if we did, and it would be neglected. So we, being Gateway Services, is going to take care of it.
So what makes you think they're gonna take care of the pavement that's not
Because
on the road?
that's public road. That's a different story.
I think we have to maintain the sidewalks, the landscaping, the signage. There's a
And
few
essentially
things
hold them harmless,
that
too.
we,
Which is why I can't believe they made a big deal about the palm tree, because we're holding them harmless anyway. But that's another subject. But yeah, the palm trees would have liked to have been pushed back further, but the problem is, there's so many things in the ground there, and unfortunately, one of the things is the gas line that we ran in,
Right.
that we didn't realize would be a problem down the road.
Our
It's the
gas line.
Yeah, that goes to the pool.
Say this a lot.
Now, the
Oh, yeah.
trucks that are, the dump trucks that go in and out of Pelican Preserve, is the county gonna, when the road's ruined, is the county gonna take care of that?
Yeah, no, we'll be driving over, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I know, it's terrible. By the way, I'm just curious, I've heard 2 stories. A few months ago, I was told that that new section or communities that are Pelican would have access to Gateway Boulevard. Now I'm hearing that's not the case, because, so that named road is gonna go away. Hmm?
It's pictured to be a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
It's on the. on the
it's
plan.
never
It's gonna be
gonna-
on the
it's-
new plans, because originally it was going to go in and they
You're
did
talking
not
about
have.
Cypress Grove,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the phase two, it's never gonna connect to Gateway.
so that's not gonna connect, they're gonna block
At
that off.
least, right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
until people that
originally
live
they
back
were.
there that are driving all the way through, it
Okay.
takes them 20 minutes to get out of their community and
Yeah.
start making a.
I got the plans. This is-
well, the reason there was a battle over whether or not that new community would be connected to the old Pelican, because they didn't want to have the access all the way through out the Gateway, because that opens up a whole other argument. But the fact is, though, if they block that off, then they'll be giving that community access into the rest of Pelican then?
They'll have to.
Well, there is the
You
possibility.
mean
of
Cypress Grove?
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's all connected to Pelican.
It is gonna be a part of the old Pelican. Because that was not the case originally.
It's all right here. This is the most recent updated.
Okay. I'll have to look at that later.
This right here is gonna get blocked,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, this is all gonna be houses, all, this whole thing.
But only one exit out on Tree Line.
Only one exit out to tree line, that is.
Wow.
The tree line,
I thought we were in bad shape. With only one exit.
they probably haven't put it to rest yet, maybe they're gonna,
Wait
You know,
till
let's just- I'll say
somebody has a
this, you
heart
know,
attack back in there.
Yeah.
Right now, I
That'll
would be a
come
bit
up again.
surprised if the county isn't sitting back, biting their tongue and waiting for this all to happen, and then come in and force change after. the fact.
that's
That
what I was
does happen.
thinking
Yeah, wait till you
too.
have a fire or medical emergency and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta,
You
you
gotta
gotta
come
get
in
a
and
truck
say,
out
this
there.
is,
Yeah.
we can't service this needs a new road.
Well, we
only have
That'll
one
be a battle
entrance.
royal.
Yeah, but ours isn't as big as Pelican
I know, but
Preserve.
still.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
700
and I
some
wish we
houses.
did have an exit at the other end.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
We were
But-
supposed
but
to.
This is, the distances are multiple miles
Yeah.
further than we are. And they're talking about a community that's gonna be more than 3 times as large as we are, all going out that one exit.
Good for them.
Caveat.
On the tree
Yes,
line.
Kathy?
Can't happen to nicer people.
Okay. There is
It
another
will be
street,
recorded.
there is another street that they're thinking about.
Mhm.
However, it will connect down farther,
Further down.
off of one of those side streets to Gateway.
Well, one of the
That's-
things that, one talk I heard was the possibility of running through the other new community, which is gonna be a gateway community, not a
Sucker.
Pelican community.
Suckerman Homes?
Is that who the developer is?
Arbor- the
Trying
Arbor-
to exit through there, but I don't know if that will fly.
The Arborwood, I think.
Well, there's Arborwood, but that's, part of that, I think, is city of Fort Myers.
Yeah, so part
Well-
of the city. of Fort Myers, too.
Yes, but, and then there's Zuckerman Homes, which is called Hammock Cove.
And that's gonna be gateway, yeah. I thought the entire new section of Pelican was outside of Pelican, I'm not Pelican. out of,
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, yeah. I thought the new section was entirely outside of Fort Myers. But
I don't know, I know Arborwood is real, it's part of it's Lee, or it's Fort Myers, some of it, I think,
Part of the Gateway.
Gateway, so it's all
I know we're
split up.
getting the water and sewer contract, and they're gonna be, they have to use us, because that was part of the plan when they designed the water and sewer facilities here, was that they were counting on they would need to supply that. That's what I was told.
Yeah. And the new part of Pelican, parts of it is going to be considered part of Gateway.
Oh, yeah, it is, it's our revenue.
Yeah.
They're
All
not
right, well,
gonna
in any
like that.
case,
They're not gonna like that.
the reason I bring up PMI, when PMI did the paving, they had to paint the walks on the road. Did they do that themselves, do you know, or did they outsource that?
I don't know.
You would think that if they're already paving it, they'd probably have a second division doing the painting.
That's what I'm wondering if they do. Because I'd like to, maybe one way to have a better feeling about PMI, because they did our walkway, and we spent a lot of money on that, you know, we get a lot of business out of us, and we're thinking about using some of the road improvements fund, we put an extra 5,000 in there. and
Do you
maybe
want
doing-
me to check and see who did the walkways?
Yeah,
Under
that'd be
that
good.
contract?
you don't have to do it right now, you can get back to me on this, because we can't do anything after October 1st anyway, being a new budget year. But I would like to look into it. We've never painted the crosswalks since we've been open on these side streets, and they really are. They need it, and this is an opportunity. Maybe we can work a deal with them, get a good price. Not asking them to lose money.
Who did we use last time? I remember when you did the
We had three
thermal.
choices, and we used, one guy was way below the other two, and it wasn't bad. This is the one across Stoneybrook. They did, I think it were 3 crosswalks we did. And I can't remember. You probably have the contract.
I have it, I can go back to the
All
notebook,
right, check it
I'll
out.
find it.
All right.
Okay.
But if PMI does it themselves, or they use their own sub, possibly, maybe we can even do better, or get a quote from them, they can help us out here.
Okay.
Any comments on that, anybody? Is everybody comfortable with that? Because I know, I think someone even here had mentioned to me about the crosswalks being disappearing there. Alrighty, let's see, this is not directly related to this, but we got a shut-off warning for an empty lot that we have,
Shut off for what?
water.
That was years ago, wasn't it?
Well, this
Oh,
is,
yeah.
we just got reissued. I think what's happened is when they went out and redid the meters and whatnot, it must have got picked up and kicked into the system again, because we had that shut off and not being billed a few dollars a month. And there's no home there, there's no CO, and we asked several years ago, Melissa, to make sure that they did whatever they had to do to shut it down. If they removed the meter or disconnected or whatever, it was stupid, I think. to
Do you know
remove
what
it.
the address is?
Yes, I do. 9891 Weatherstone.
Okay.
Was the
Okay.
last email, that's all.
I'll talk to Leslie.
Yeah, because that we shouldn't be getting billed for that. There's nothing there.
Okay. I know there's that availability fee.
Yeah, but even that still, without something being there, no CO or no anything, there's nothing to bill it to, so to
Right.
speak, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's
okay.
one thing if it was a empty house, but it's nothing, it's
There's
there.
nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll,
And there hasn't been for many years, and we now own it. The community owns it, it's not
Okay.
even the bank anymore. We're in the process of talking, trying to get together with Menard to try to make something happen. Yeah, we're gonna, this may happen in August, this has been going on for years, I think.
As far as building a home there?
Yeah. This, I got correspondence on this going back to 2011, that's how long this is.
Mhm.
I was trying to remember when that house burned down.
It was like 2006.
It
I
was,
was gonna say,
Yeah,
it's been
2006.
a long, long, long time ago.
Yeah.
We moved here.
10
in 8,
years.
and it was gone by then.
how did it burn down?
Electrical.
Electrical.
A new house and it was electric?
Yeah, I gotta tell you
was a
something, my
model.
box was getting hot too. And what happened is they were hiring anybody to do contractors, things were booming so crazy, this is like 2004, that's when my house was built, and that one was built around the same time. And the connections were, they were using aluminum wire, and the connections were made dry, which means they weren't coated. Aluminum will, it's not really corrode, but it'll oxidize, and it's a very thin coating, and it causes resistance at the connections, and that's what occurred. In my house, the heating and cooling had deformed the wires to the extent you can take the wires and shake them in the connections. It overheated the connectors, which are also aluminum, to the point you couldn't even tighten them up anymore. We had to pull them out, re-drill, tap them, and thank God I had the taps that I did and put them in. And I actually insisted that Lennar run a heavier cable into my house because of it, because we had the pool heater, the hot tub, and the air, and all kinds of other things, and they did. And I haven't had a problem since. But in that house there, the owner claimed it started at the electrical box. And after what happened to me, I can absolutely understand how it happened, absolutely. The fire marshal came in and claimed the car caught fire, but I think he's wrong. And there was a battle with the insurance, but eventually he did collect the insurance. The problem is he never built the house back.
It was
By then he was
still-
so
It was still
disgusted.
a model when it burned.
No,
No, he was living there.
he was,
Somebody was living
Yeah.
Oh,
there.
yeah, he was living there.
I mean, think about it, that was the boom too, so he probably cut, he
Yeah.
cut it in a nice chunk. And
Well, what
that was
happened
like-
is the bank did retain most of it. They gave part of him the money to be for a construction loan, so to
Oh,
speak.
construction of firm?
They never did anything. Remember if you were here, they
They moved
delivered
material and
wood,
let it
they
sit
moved
there.
material, left it sit there, and
Mhm.
they got whatnot, and he never paid them. And the people who were going to do the work never did it, and the wood sat there, and eventually we had to dispose of it. The county came in, condemned the building, and eventually knocked the whole thing down.
And the slab's gone too, right?
I believe so,
Yeah, I
yeah. The
think so.
slab's gone, and I think they, I don't know if they dug up the pool, they filled in the pool.
They probably just started it.
It was a nice house.
Whoever
too.
builds a house, when they put a pool in, they'll see if it's there or
That
not.
was a Chatham Grant, which is a good-sized house. But nevertheless, so we're working on that, but I don't think we should be getting shut-off letters
Okay.
at a house with it.
It's probably because we have new people.
Yeah, and they saw this, oh, we're not charging.
Mhm.
And you know, they want to plug it into a tree, they can try that and see, or whatever. We did some tree trimming, and this is one of the things I wanted to see if Elle was aware of. Also,
Let me see if she's available now.
Does she still get out 4 now? Are they still getting out early?
Oh, that's right, they get out at 3:30.
Oh.
About 3:30?
Let me see.
I sent Eric another blueprint yesterday for FBO. I can give everybody an update on that.
No, they're still
Yeah, we
in.
will. Still in it?
Just-
Well, you can make a note of this, that when they came in to do the tree trimming,
Mhm.
and I looked back at the minutes from last month, and I said in those minutes, please make sure they're aware of how important it is that one of the reasons we're trimming these trees is to open up the area around the light so they can shine down. We have a couple of spots that could have done a better job, and one of them is down by the clubhouse, that literally has 2 big branches that are just hiding that light bulb.
Okay.
Margaret told them while they were there, don't forget to come back and do that. They said they would. She has since called the owner of the company, and he said, yeah, I'll get the guys back. Well, if they had been
This was
there,
an anchor tree?
Anchor, yeah.
Okay.
they need to do that.
And the one is by the clubhouse, and where's the
Well,
other?
across the street, it's right across the street on Pelican, Stoneybrook.
And where's the other one?
A couple, I can't remember the street, I'd have to go down, take a look at
Okay.
that. And
Okay.
if they got a hold of us,
Okay,
check it out.
all right, I will let her know.
All right, and I know we were supposed to do extra plantings, and I was hoping to get an update on where we stood. I know that the Mainscapes had a health problem, and they were a little bit overwhelmed there, and it seemed like that process started. I don't think that we've had all the plants planted that we had agreed to pay for. Doesn't seem to me anyway.
Okay.
And I don't know, would you agree with that, anybody else? This is-
There's still, I guess it's the jasmine that are bare. You
Yeah.
know, because everything else looks pretty good on Pebblebrook. I think it's on the right-hand side going in.
There's a couple places,
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that that's going. Now, I understand all the aerators are working, is that correct? Because she had said it last month, and I was hoping that, somebody would check and see.
They were definitely out there working this week.
They're in our pond,
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm thinking sprinklers, not aerators. my
No,
bad.
aerators
Yeah.
in the ponds.
No, they don't.
Yeah, the sprinklers down by us the other week, they must have been on for 8 hours.
Yeah, there was a problem, and there was somebody working on sprinklers today.
I know they were working on it last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, there was a problem. And
Did Dick say the aerator in his pond not working, or is
Is
working?
working.
Is.
They
Yeah,
were
the
down there
aerator's
working
down
on it,
on
probably-
Greenstone, well, that, between Greenstone and
Pebblestone.
Pebblestone.
Yeah, I think they were probably, might have been routine maintenance, because I think they were working before.
They were.
But I think they're one of the lakes, I have to go back to the last month's minutes.
Okay.
It's the one along 82. The long one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around 82, around the back, some Stone Valley and Stone Tower. I don't know the right number.
All right, and I asked Janice to talk, and those are my notes. We're basically down to committee requests and audience comments, because there really was nothing here truly for the agenda. Do you have any comments, audience?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Okay.
I gotta get my paper and wrote it down.
Okay.
Okay, I'm wondering on Bluestone, when you go into Bluestone, right?
Mhm.
why there's no stop sign, so it could be a three-way stop, and that might slow the traffic in running through those stop signs.
Well, they pull in, they don't have to stop going in, turn right
But,
or left.
right, but I'm just saying if it was a three-way stop, it would make it a little bit more, probably better for the people driving that don't stop, and, you know, it might enhance the others to stop. Also, you should know that a tree blocks one of the stop signs on Bluestone. Ask me, I've been on Bluestone.
A tree or?
Yeah, a
or
tree.
bush?
When you, no, it's a tree. When you're coming this way on Bluestone to turn right to get off of it, that stop sign, until you pass that tree, if you didn't know that stop sign was there, it's on that property,
Well,
you can't,
Well,
you
one of
can't
the
see it.
things is that, I believe state statute states if it's a T road, it's an automatic stop. You're supposed to treat it like a stop sign, so you know that that road does not progress. But I agree, we should have a visible stop sign. I'm trying to think, where's that train? Whose property is it on?
It's the first, well, if you're,
You're coming
You're
out of
going-
Bluestone, you're coming to Pebblebrook, you're saying the stop sign on the right-hand
on
side?
the right-hand side,
And there's a tree blocking it.
and when you get, until you, just about, you know it's, I knew it was there, so I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
looking for it. However, that tree does block it.
But is the tree on someone's property?
It's on someone's property,
And it blocks the,
and it blocks
Maybe
the
this one
view.
right here. Probably that tree blocking that sign. Or maybe it's a stop sign. I don't
You know that stop sign is there, so you can
There's a
realize,
stop sign there, you
but-
can just see the shadow.
if you don't know it.
So that one's probably
hang on that.
going north.
Oh, I see, you're on the loop of Bluestone, you're
Right,
not
you're-
really
and-
on the outlet you're not talking by Pebblebrook, you're talking.
I'm talking on Bluestone.
Oh, I got you, that's why I couldn't picture it. And I'll check that out and see. If it's on their property, and that tree is properly planted, it's hard to believe if you're blocking the stop sign.
Yeah, but it's just the
It's
way the
almost like the
branches
stop
come out.
sign's in the wrong place or something.
Well, it could be,
Overgrown
they're-
tree, too.
No, not overgrown. They might need to trim up their branches because we have the height on that too, you know how.
That's
But
right.
is
So
the
you're on the-
base,
you're-
is it the base of the tree or the overhang of the
The
tree?
overhang, the.
Okay, well, we can send them a letter on that.
That's, yeah,
That-
that's up to the homeowner.
Okay, I understand what you're saying now, and that makes sense, and we can send them a letter. They're supposed to keep that, what, we sent the letter, I think, 12 feet?
No, it's not that high anymore.
Over the road it is.
Over the road, yeah,
Over the
but-
road.
Yeah.
In fact, if I remember correctly, they had said they'd like to see it at 14 feet, and we thought that was a little
Because of the
high.
fire trucks.
What's
Exactly.
it above the sidewalk though? Because this is
It's like 8
this
feet,
is above
I
the
think-
8
sidewalk,
feet on the sidewalk.
which would be tall enough for a stop sign.
I'm just saying that as you're driving down, if you didn't know it was there until you pass that tree, which isn't a lot of room afterwards. to
I'll take a
stop.
look here on the way home. I'll swing by there. I don't mind having a stop sign there, but then you
Yeah, I
get,
looked over,
because then it gets into the same thing as having a stop sign on Greenstone too.
Exactly.
I ride my bike around that
Yeah,
road,
but
so I'm
that-
always playing chicken with the
I'm gonna
car.
tell you, I looked into that stop sign, in fact, I asked that question about that request for a stop sign over there on Greenstone. And there's setback requirements from the driveway, it will put it so far back that it's ridiculous, it's of no help, it really isn't. In fact, I was going to make the left just a couple of days ago off of Greenstone onto Pebblebrook, and some woman came down, flying down
And
Pebblebrook to make a left over by your house. And she was literally off the line, and she had to come to a screeching halt because I was,
Is that right?
and I saw her coming, so I came to a stop, but she didn't see me because she was busy.
and she didn't stop.
She did, but I waved her on through because she was halfway through the stop sign already. And she was just gonna blow right through and make a left
It
turn.
is, it's kind of hard to see all the way
I know.
down
Until
Greenstone.
you get up there in Greenstone, and I know some of those people coming from Greenstone cut that
Oh,
corner
yeah.
real sharp.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to see if we get a cop sitting over there a couple of times to just maybe even park, maybe even in your driveway.
That's fine.
And sit there, because if they're on the road, they see them.
Across the street from me, those people are never there.
really?
They're snowbirds, and they're not even here but
So
maybe
they
a
can
month.
sit in there, but from your driveway, you get.
They
the
could
great
really see,
view.
yeah.
Yeah, what's going on. I'll talk to you about that.
Okay.
Maybe we'll set that up.
That's fine.
But the
Small
park,
fee, right?
stop sign on Greenstone, literally, the driveway is just smacking away. And that's what Lenard told me years ago, and I said, how come you didn't put a stop sign over here? And because that house wasn't a definite. That was one of
That
the
wasn't
last-
supposed to be there.
I
That
know,
was
they were,
supposed to
they
be,
thought they wouldn't need it, and they got greedy and put it there.
well, originally, when we bought our lot,
There's a possibility of a road going.
it was supposed to be a road
Yeah.
go
Well,
through there.
if they took an option on the property that is Hampton Park,
Yeah.
which they gave up on. But then they said they were going to put a little gazebo in a park down there. May or may not know about
I
that.
didn't know that.
And that became a house. They got greedy.
The one
In any
nice thing
case,
is that house is a
stop
long
sign
way
there,
from
right?
me.
It's just not possible.
I'll take a look at the one on Bluestone.
Yeah, I'll drive by there too.
Kathy's still not
We
finished.
got
Oh,
thunder.
I'm sorry, yeah, I
Oh.
apologize.
She has a list.
Go ahead.
Yes, I do.
I know, I saw
So,
it.
no, you don't wanna consider the stop sign, make it a three-way stop there. I'm thinking of the children when they get their bus, the bus that comes
So
down.
you're talking about a stop sign coming from the other direction on Bluestone?
On Bluestone.
When they're gonna make the left to get out of here?
Right, so that way, I know that
No,
there's
it'd be
been a
going into
problem
Bluestone.
with
You're
children
going
and
into
buses.
Bluestone.
Right now, you can just go down Bluestone to make a right or make a left.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, you know, but getting back to that statute though, if you come to a T road, by law, you're supposed to come to a stop.
I bet you 99% of the people don't know that.
I don't think that's true.
Yes, it is.
There's no stop sign, I ain't stopping.
At a T, supposed to stop. Let's look and see if
I'll bet
traffic's
you,
coming.
I'll bet you nobody knows it.
Not if there's no stop sign.
Yeah,
No
not
way.
if there's no stop sign.
No way.
Well, my
Because-
suggestion
because-
is,
They don't even stop when there is a stop.
That's true,
You're right
too.
about that. I know. I'm saying, besides the fact of what they're supposed to do and what they actually do, I get it. But T roads.
Is that on every street then?
Basically on. public
Driving
road.
here every day,
Well,
put my
then
life in my
Greenstone would
hands.
have, you should be stopping in Greenstone, going down to Pebblebrook then. 'cause
It's not a
that's
T.
Sure it is.
Not on
No,
Greenstone, it's
no.
not a T. You can go straight right through.
You go straight down,
Straight through.
go straight through on Bluestone too.
no, you can't catch up.
No.
No, if you're coming this way on Bluestone, it's a T.
Yeah, but
Bluestone T's on the loop.
I just made a suggestion. I thought
Okay.
it might be
No problem.
beneficial.
It's one of the questions when you take the written test.
Okay.
is that road
Now,
like?
It's a T.
Yeah, but that's Pebble.
the next thing is those little blue lights in the middle of the road on Gateway, what are they for?
We don't have a stop
We're
sign.
Fire
Fire
hydrants.
There's one over
That's
here.
what the fire
That
light,
fire hydrants are there.
But there's not.
So at nighttime, when they, if a truck's coming down, they can see, because electricity may be out, but the lights are already
Was
like.
that one too?
those little blue lights on the road that, you know.
That's what they
Oh,
are.
Yeah, okay, fire hydrant, thank you, I figured somebody would know.
Yeah,
The
that's
office
what he's
didn't,
saying.
so I figured it
It's
out.
thundering up there, Joe.
Every T.
Okay.
Just
If we're
We'll
finished.
melt.
Stop sign.
We'll hold up.
That's really good.
Anything else?
No, that's it for today.
Okay.
What was the
Thank you.
question on the blue reflectors?
It's the
I
fire
know the
hydrants.
fire hydrants,
Yeah.
but.
That's
Well,
what
where
they
they-
said,
she
they
wasn't
locate the
familiar
fire
with
Oh,
hydrants.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
really don't have that up north. I don't remember the.
No.
No,
No.
so I-
You know what happens?
Because down here, they're all hidden.
Well, yeah, but no, but up north, they do, the plows would just scrape.
Yeah,
them
you
right off the
scrape
road.
them.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
they
true,
would
too.
last, yeah. That one winter they'd be done. Committee requests and audience comments, are you done there?
I am
Ken?
finished now,
Okay.
thank you.
Anything, Dennis? Virginia?
Yep.
That's it.
Thomas?
Just,
Next meeting's August 10th.
just update on FPL. I sent another blueprint to Eric. I know Margaret's been working on it too. She actually talked to him yesterday.
Did she
and-
really?
Yeah, she actually got a hold of him.
Wow.
So she's gonna continue just bombarding him until we get something in writing of how much it's gonna cost to move these 6 poles. He blamed it on me. He goes, well, I gave him a nice blueprinted map of here, this is the location of the lights, this is how many feet we're moving it. He came back to me and was like, well, we needed to know which direction so we give you proper bid. I don't care if you're going left or right, if it's 15 feet. It's 15 feet.
Electricity's already there.
So, so
I
I
don't
had
know
to,
what
I
to
had
say
to put,
about
I had to put arrows on each of the lights showing
Alright.
which way they're moving, so we'll see what happens now.
Did Anchor Pull cut down all the trees they were supposed to cut down? And you're happy with that, all right, just a little bit of trimming has to be done. All right.
Well, even the trimming though, you're, the ones that, the lights that are up in the trees, a lot of those lights are gonna be moved to the intersection, so trimming them, I mean, it's almost,
Well, we'll see. You know, we may, if he that itemizes the cost of each light, we may pick and choose which one.
Okay.
We may not do all 6, if a couple more.
some of them are way up in the,
I know, some are in the middle. Because what happened is the lights were put in and they planted around. it.
Yeah.
And it was like,
They were tiny trees then.
Yeah, well, that's my
Yeah,
update
but
on them.
the-
Oh, and another
on
thing,
big trees.
I don't know if this is Gateway or this is a Stoneybrook issue. I know across from the preserve where I live, they trimmed that all down. But where the one, Pebblebrook or Pebblestone, it hasn't been trimmed in over a year, maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half.
you mean bush hog? Mike?
Yeah, bush hogged.
That's something for us at the board meeting.
Okay.
Bring up.
Because I know they're doing the one
And,
across.
you
the-
know, and they're supposed they meet every month with Mainscapes. If you can make one of those meetings, that'd be a good opportunity to do that too.
I should just do that anyways.
Well, I know that they schedule meetings once a month to discuss issues with Mainscape, so that's really, because I have some issues with that too. They have been negligent on cutting the berm, the rest of the berm.
Oh, yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
bad.
it is bad.
How's it growing? How's the
Fine,
ficus going?
as long as, except for the kudzu that's growing up through it, and now it's going along the top of it in some places, which is, I don't know if you got it by you. but-
No, I haven't seen the
By us, the
kudzu.
kudzu's all
That's that
over.
weed, that vine.
It's that vine.
It'll-
Yeah,
it'll
it's a
eat
couple
everything.
feet- Yeah, it grows a couple feet a day, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
I just want to throw something out and see how you feel about it. I don't know how many agenda items we'll have for next month, but I'll give you the option. Do we still want to have a meeting next month anyway, or?
What would we need to talk about?
I think let's kind of wait and see if we have,
Well, we got to
Stuff-
establish it now.
Well, I would say, you know, we're in the middle of the summer and let's take a break. I would recommend just taking a break for a month. If this-
Well, if we were to set up a schedule now, then maybe a couple weeks from now, we'd make a decision if we just want to cancel it. Is there a
Yeah.
problem with that, Diane?
No, not at all. I just
No.
pull it off the website, the calendar, and
Okay. Because right now, it's a slow time of year, I don't have any
Yeah.
whole lot of things going on, and it's food for thought.
it's
Okay, well, let's schedule it. So we're-
August
Yeah.
10th.
August 10th tentatively,
Okay.
and if maybe you can put a tickler to send a reminder out to us, because
Okay.
remember, we can't communicate with each other.
Okay.
I don't know how Pelican does it, but somehow it must be.
Sunshine laws don't apply to them, you know
That's
that,
true.
come on.
Um,
I have to put a special note in every email I send them, reminding them
Which they probably ignore on a regular basis, though.
for the district council.
In any case, all right, we'll set it up for the 10th. Hopefully, we'll revisit that in a couple of weeks to see if it's really necessary, because I can't think of anything that I need to talk about next month.
Okay.
I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Fair enough.
That's thoughtful of you.
For another month.
So if we're all done, I will take a motion
Motion
to.
adjourn.
There you go.
second.
And the second was Virginia? All in favor?
Aye.
We're all done now.
Let's go eat.
Yeah.
Going to work starts.
Let's go eat.
Hear that thunder up there?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
That's not special, huh?
It's just quiet. It's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unless you want something else.
Fine.
No.
We going down to Deland to get lunch?
We're gonna go to Atlanta.
What was your,
Supper.
Oh,
what was
supper.
your surgery?
Yeah, we go back
scheduled
Sue wants
for?
to
It was today, but I canceled.
What is it? Carpal tunnel?
Right now.
Yes, I
We'll wait for a
Just
good,
Hmm.
last minute.
Who's your hand surgeon?
I just
Oh, wow. You ever been there?
I think it.
Not south.
He's not over at the,